Anthony Helmet, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So I wanted to put together a list of as many boxing professional prospects as I could. And if you guys know any that I didn't add to this list, go ahead and put their names in the comment section. So I'm going to give you some information on all of these prospects, and I want you guys to predict which ones you think are going to go the furthest in the sport before they prove it, before they become a champion, before they become a top 10 pound for pound fighter. I want you guys to base this off of your boxing knowledge, off of the eye test, off of their talent, their skills, their flaws, etc., etc. And I'm going to make my prediction as well. And years from now, we can come back to this video and see who got it right or who came the closest to getting it right. You could look at it like being a scout, a basketball scout, a football scout, because you'll always see some of these boxing fans trying to discredit a prospect because he's getting a lot of praise, right? And he'll say something like, yeah, but he hasn't proven anything. He hasn't fought anyone. Well, yeah, that's the reason why you're supposed to know how good that fighter is before he proves something, before he fights someone. You're supposed to already know how good he's going to be, or at least have a general idea if you know anything about boxing, the sweet science. So with that being said, this is my list of prospects. And remember, we're only talking about prospects that are already professional boxers. We're not talking about amateurs that are already expected to turn pro. So I'm going to go ahead and start from left to right with Zaquin Moses.
Whenever Shakur, over the last couple of years, was asked, who's the guy, the young fighter to watch in the sport, he mentioned his cousin. And we're about to see why exactly.
So Moses, he just turned pro. He didn't have a long amateur career, around 30 fights, but he was a 3-time national champion. And his main claim to fame is a win over Kermel Moulton in the amateurs, and being Shakur Stevenson's cousin. He's a southpaw just like Shakur. He's 19 years old, fights at super featherweight, and he's 5'9". At least that's the recorded height. But if he's really 5'9", then that's a really good height for the weight classes that he fights in. It means he could probably go all the way up to welterweight or even super welter. Let's move on to Emiliano Vargas.
The legacy continues. That's it. The legacy continues. I want to stay busy. I want to stay in the ring. I'm only 18 years old. I want to grow. I know I got a lot of growing to do, but man, 135 or 140, I'm coming. I'll see you in a couple years.
In favor of El General. This is the young man who really has the goods.
He's destined for the lights, honestly. Destined for the bright lights. There's no doubt about it.
It's a beautiful thing to be here with all my beautiful Mexican fans. And there's Vargas for a while.
He wants to be a world champion. He told us in the fighter meetings, he said, give me 2 years. I'll be a world champion before I'm 21 years old. Trust me, when you have a guy that's as reckless as this, he's dangerous.
Okay, so Emiliano Vargas' claim to fame is the fact that he is Fernando Vargas' son, and he is the best out of the Vargas brothers. There are 3 of them. You heard Vargas in that clip say he's 18 years old and he wants to become a champion before he's 21. Well, he's 20 years old now. He's fighting at 140 and he's 12-0. And Top Rank, they have very, very high expectations of him because Vargas is the only boxer on the Top Rank channel that they implied is the future of boxing. And that's over Abdullah Mason, Keyshawn Davis, Bruce Carrington, and more. And by the way, just so there's no confusion, I don't have Keyshawn Davis on this list because Keyshawn Davis, he's a contender and he's about to fight for a world title. This list is only for prospects. Bruce Carrington, he's already closing in on a title shot as well. And then you have Abdullah Mason, who is at the top for prospect of the year. According to Wikipedia, Abdullah was regarded as the brightest prospect in America's amateur system. He's 20 years old, fights at lightweight, and he's 16-0 with 14 knockouts.
Tim Bradley and Christina Poncher taking you through this one. Abdullah Mason is on your list of double stamp prospects. Tell the people why.
Skill set. Tactically he's on point. Using his jab from the outside. Great combinations, great positioning as well. Good defense. He's physically strong. Technically sound. He's a total package.
Let's move on to Kermel Moulton. I mean, just like Abdullah Mason, you guys pretty much know everything about Kermel Moulton by now. He was so special, he was signed to Floyd Mayweather before he even turned pro. Now he's 18 years old, 6-0 at 5 knockouts, and he fights at lightweight. Let's keep it moving. And by the way, once I go ahead and go through this entire list, I'm going to give you guys the 2 fighters that I believe will go the furthest. Okay, so next on the list is Nathan Lugo. Nathan was a 25-time national champion. He's 20 years old, 3-0, fights at super middleweight, and is a really big puncher. He signed to DAZN, and he's already one of DAZN's favorite prospects.
All right, so Nathan Lugo, who had an amateur record of 252 wins, only 9 losses, 40 by KO.
He's not the fastest with his combinations, but you could definitely see that he has power behind those fists. Good body shot there by Lugo.
Yeah, Ray Corona's already eating heavy shots. The power punches are landing at will. And look at Nathan Lugo go.
Next is Joseph Brown.
Joseph Brown is just starting his career, and he's already a knockout.
The fastest knockout in the history of amateur Canadian boxing. It is definitely the future, the prodigy.
67-0, and now is 2-0 as a pro.
He's definitely going to be a world champion multiple times.
And nearly beat Mike Tyson's world record for the fastest amateur knockout.
Is this young superstar the next Floyd Mayweather? A 17-year-old prodigy who's got the entire fighting scene buzzing.
Joseph, the Prodigy!
Okay, so the prodigy Joseph Brown is a boxer and an MMA fighter. He's undefeated as an amateur, a total of 70-0. He has the second recorded fastest knockout in amateur boxing history. He signed to Mayweather Promotions. He's 4-0 with 3 knockouts. He fights at junior middleweight and stands at 6'2". And last but not least is the most accomplished on this list, and that is Andy Cruz. He's a gold medalist, an Olympic gold medalist, and his main claim to fame is beating Keyshawn Davis not once but 3 or 4 times. He's only 4-0, but his career is on a way faster track than everyone on this list, and that's mainly because he's 29 years old. Matter of fact, his next opponent is 20-1 with 14 knockouts, and he just knocked out Chris Colbert in his very last fight. His name is Omar Gamez. Okay, so now that I gave you guys the whole list, I want to give you guys my number 1 pick, the fighter who I believe is going to go the furthest, and that is Kermel Moulton. I've been studying his fights, mainly the fight against Anthony Cuba, which was another PBC prospect, by the way. And with everything I've seen in that fight, from the way he transitions, his aggression, his accuracy, being able to throw 4 or 5 punch combinations and land every single punch. And that's while chasing his opponent around the ring. His defense, his timing, his high boxing IQ is impeccable. So that's my number 1 pick, the fighter who I believe is going to go the furthest. And once again, I have to remind you guys again, we're trying to call it before we know it already. So go ahead and make your predictions, pick your number 1 guy, put it in the comment section, or put your top 2 guys in the comment section. For now, I'm just going to stick with my number 1 guy, and that's Kermel Moulton. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, fever blisters, diabetic ulcers, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LO Deki Face and Body Oil. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to lodeki.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Let me tell you guys about Issa Israel Law Firm. It is a full-service legal practice based in Denver, Colorado, an emerging hub for combat sports and high-altitude training. If you're a fighter inside or outside of the ring and you need a law firm you can trust to fight for you, visit thefighterfirm.com or email help@iilawfirm.com. Legal representation is usually limited to plaintiffs or defendants in Colorado, but iFirm can help anyone in the world with trademarking their business name, logos, and U.S. immigration issues. This brother has been my attorney for a while and helped guide me through all kinds of business and civil issues, so make sure you guys go to thefighterfirm.com.